Friends, do you know that a car mechanic once fooled some of the richest investors in the world and scammed them out of $1 billion, which is nearly 8,500 crore rupees? And he didn't rob a bank or run away with loans. He did it all by selling solar panels while living right in America. His plan was so smart and sneaky that even big businessmen like Warren Buffett became his victims. But who was this man, and how did he do it? And in the end, how did the truth come out? Asterisk, his name was Jeff Carpoff, a 36-year-old man from California. He had a small auto repair shop where he worked with his brother-in-law as a mechanic. They were both hard-working and trying to earn enough to support their families. But things didn't go well. The business failed, and Jeff couldn't even afford basic living expenses. Still, he always dreamed of being rich and tried different ideas, but nothing worked. In desperation, Jeff even started selling drugs, just to feed his children. But even that wasn't enough. He was drowning in debt, couldn't pay his rent or bills, and knew this wasn't the life he wanted. Eventually, he looked for a proper job and found work as a solar panel salesman. Asterisk, while working in sales, Jeff would meet many people every day and listen to their feedback. One thing he noticed was that many people were scared that their solar panels might get stolen. That's when an idea hit him. What if solar panels could be made mobile? What if you could fix them onto trailers or trucks, use them during the day, and park them in a safe place at night? He knew this could be a big hit. But there was a problem. He didn't know how to actually build something like this. So, he contacted his brother-in-law, who had mechanical skills, and together they began working on the idea. Asterisk, after a few months, they created a mobile solar generator. It looked like a metal frame with wheels, and on top of the frame was solar panels. These could be locked and moved easily. It was a creative product, and people started noticing. At that time, diesel generators were already popular, but they were noisy and used fuel. Jeff's invention was cleaner and quieter, a good alternative. But neither Jeff nor his brother-in-law knew how to properly market or compete in a $3 billion diesel generator industry. Asterisk, then, luck came knocking. A customer named Watson, who often visited their garage, turned out to be a software professional. When he heard about the solar invention, he was impressed and offered to help them build a company. That's how DC Solar was born. Watson and his team handled the marketing, while Jeff focused on the product. They decided to target big clients instead of ordinary people. One of their first targets was Hollywood, where noisy diesel generators were used on movie sets. DC Solar's silent mobile solar generators were a perfect solution, and soon many movie sets started using their panels. Asterisk, things picked up fast. Jeff even partnered with a powerful law firm called Nixon Peabody. Around the same time, the US government announced a policy that offered 30% tax credit to companies that invested in solar technology. So, if a company bought solar panels for $100,000, the government would give them $30,000 back as tax credit. Jeff used this opportunity and created an amazing offer. He said companies could buy solar panels from DC Solar by paying just 30% upfront, and the remaining 70% could be paid in easy installments. And since the government was giving back 30% as tax credit, buyers were getting the panels without really spending anything. Asterisk, this offer was too good to resist. Companies started buying in bulk. Jeff's network grew rapidly. One day, while watching a baseball match in 2011, Jeff got a message that the famous Sherwin-Williams paint company had ordered 192 mobile solar generators worth $29 million. This was his biggest order yet. Soon after, an American bank also showed interest in working with DC Solar, thinking they could offer solar equipment to people on lease and help them save money. Asterisk. But here's where the scam began. Asterisk. Jeff wanted to impress the bank and attract big investment, so he created fake documents and false statistics, making it look like the solar generators were in high demand. The bank believed him and became DC Solar's first financial partner. From there, Jeff started faking everything. The generators that were sent to movie sets started breaking down often because they were poorly built. Jeff and his brother-in-law didn't have the right knowledge to make reliable machines. Even the Sherwin-Williams order wasn't fully completed. Only the first row of solar panels was real. The rest were just empty frames, fixed with nuts and bolts. Asterisk. But Jeff was busy, living a luxurious life. He bought a mansion, luxury cars, and even a private jet. As complaints started piling up and companies stopped renewing long-term leases, DC Solar ran into a serious problem. They didn't have enough money to pay back old investors. So, Jeff made another plan. He started using money from new investors to pay off old ones, a typical Ponzi scheme. He continued showing fake data and GPS trackers to investors, pretending that thousands of generators were active all over the country. In reality, many of those trackers were buried in the ground, not connected to real machines. Asterisk. He even fooled big names like Shell and took $76 million from them. In 2014, when the IRS tax department tried to investigate, Jeff's legal team managed to delay them. But behind the scenes, nothing was real. The business was now fully fake. No real sales, no real income, just money coming in from new sales. Investors and being paid to the old ones. Asterisk. Jeff needed even bigger investors, and again, luck favored him. Valley National Bank wanted to invest $76 million in solar equipment. They received a list of trusted companies that lease solar generators. Jeff's DC Solar was on that list, and again, using fake numbers, he tricked them. He even managed to trap GEICO, the insurance company owned by Warren Buffett's firm, Berkshire Hathaway. But how did he fool such a big company? Asterisk. Jeff paid a T-Mobile employee to sign a fake agreement showing that T-Mobile had agreed to lease 1,000 generators for 10 years. With such a big name on their client list, other companies found it easy to trust DC Solar. GEICO then signed a deal to buy 8,000 generators worth $1.2 billion. They thought they would save $377 million in tax credits, but their money was actually being used to pay off old investors. Jeff, on the other hand, continued to live like a king. He had over 100 luxury cars, multiple villas, and even private jets. His company name started appearing on race cars and became a sponsor in NASCAR. Asterisk. But finally, fate caught up. One of Jeff's employees exposed the scam, and that's when the FBI and Securities and Exchange Commission began a serious investigation. Jeff was arrested, and it was revealed that DC Solar was just a big Ponzi scheme. They had claimed to build 177,000 solar generators, but most of them existed only on paper. The GPS trackers they showed to investors were fake and hidden underground. Asterisk. On November 9th, 2021, Jeff Carpoff was sentenced to prison, along with his wife and 5 others involved in the scam. And that's how a small-time mechanic who once fixed cars ended up becoming one of the biggest fraudsters in American history, all with solar panels.